And now to stories in politics. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has commended the author of Election Your Power, Take It to the Polls, Alexander Onoja. Alexander Onoja is a man with a coat of many colors who has acquired 15 undergraduate and postgraduate degrees, several professional fellowships and awards. Launched the book in Government House, Lokoja. The event attracted academicians, politicians, and top government functionaries. He is the initiator of GYB Ebigo political project and has long become a slogan amongst the people of Kogi State. The book Election, Your Power, Take It to the Polls gave insights into how electorates and politicians can play their roles without fighting and violence. Our reporter has more.
The book launch attracted the author's parents, the deputy governor who is also his brother, the wife of the deputy governor, the resident state INEC chairman, professors, lecturers, vice-chancellors of higher learning, director of Kogi State Polytechnic and a whole lot of academicians and top government functionaries among well-meaning Nigerians who converge on the government glass house hall to appreciate the intellectual efforts put in to produce the book, described as a guide to instruct, direct and correct all about elections. The book reviewer, the head of Department of History and International Studies at Federal University Lokoja, Professor Suberu Abdurrahman, said it's a book that can reform and refine the democratic system of government if made to get to the people, government and politicians.
According to the author, poverty is a big disease. The author emphasized on the need for the government to creating a platform to listen to the poor, marginalized, and those left behind. Leaders must carry his subjects along. The three major means of production, land, labor, and capital, should be given serious attention for the growth of our economy. On the issue of governance, the author emphasized that our administrative set-up should be people-centric, responsive, and result-oriented, and justice for all must be upheld. This is a book every serious-minded politician and electorate must not done with a wave of hand. I therefore recommended the book for all Nigerians wishing to reposition politics in Nigeria, and especially the Independent National Electoral Commission or political organizations towards promoting a safer, stable, and EU-based political campaign and electioneering in Nigeria.
The chairman of the occasion, a consultant orthopedic and trauma surgeon, and the pioneer provost of the College of Medicine, Federal University Lokoja, Professor Ozovehe Mike Ogrima, commended Alexander Onoja for devoting time, energy and resources to produce written material to educate people on the electoral process in the country. He wished all arms of government make good use of it, including making it available for students across secondary and tertiary institutions to read and to have first-hand information that will strengthen the electoral process in the country.
And I have met him across so many divides. This man is a pharmacist, a lawyer, and I learned recently that he is pursuing a PhD in history and international studies. And if you go to the spiritual realm, of course, he is there. I want to bless God for him, for blessing the Onojas with such a product. For 2023, we need documents, we need reference materials. And this dynamic multitasking pharmacist and a lawyer has put that, over a period of time in his very, very busy schedule.
Other dignitaries present also commented on the importance of the book to the body of the democratic system of government in Nigeria.
I was opportune to be one of the first pharmacists that he met when he came during this, the inception of this present administration. I'm not surprised that Alexander, a pharmacist, is celebrated today as the author of a book titled election your power, take it to the polls. You will agree with me that a pharmacist with so many master's degrees must be a very cerebral person. From Onoja can be rightly described as a pharmaceutical expert, judging from his numerous academic laurels just read out to us. No wonder then that our colleague pharmacist Alexander D. Onoja can veer easily to other academic fields. This is the feature of a brain that has been well tasked and tutored in pharmaceutical chemistry.
I had a problem. The problem was that I suddenly became the acting managing director of Book Investment and Properties Limited. And I had challenges. I met with him and we rubbed minds. And he gave me areas that I can actually generate revenue for the state. I imagine to you that you are a specialist in property and land investment. He gave me ideas, wonderful ideas that culminated into writing a lot of memos to the state government then, trying to harness and to point them to areas where revenues can be generated. And I give God the glory that the civic center that was built is part of the areas he asked me to address.
Alex is a brother. We grew up together. And one thing that made me to admire him so much is that when we were together in Seri, Lagos, I always dodge away from him. Because if he comes, all I hear is grammar. Today I'm not surprised. He has a lot upstairs. And I'm sure he will still bring out more to unveil and launch. Apart from this.
In the past, elections were characterized by violence, ballot box snatching, results tampered with, and many other ways, not in consonance with what elections should stand for. But the book, according to the empire body, the Independent Electoral Commission, INEC, the Kogi State Resident Electoral Commissioner, Haile Gabriel Longpet, who commended the author, said it will become a helpful tool to sharpen the mindset of the electorate towards electing leaders to serve them at all levels. He assured that the coming general elections will be without hitch due to the introduction of the Bimodal Voter Accreditation System, BVAS.
When I saw the advert, the video, and I said, why should I send anybody at all? Why can't I come myself? It is not an event for politicians or political parties, which I will not be able to attend, but this is acknowledging the work of somebody who has contributed towards election management in the country and political development generally, and the role of various actors and stakeholders in the political development of Nigeria. And it wouldn't have come at a better time than now. There have been no issue of incidents form where people have come in the past and said, oh, I lost my PVC, or bringing someone else's PVC, and where they are not able to be accredited, they can say you can fill incidence form and then you can vote. That is no longer possible. Added to that is the fact that when you vote, the votes will be counted in the presence of everybody. The BVAS records the number of people accredited in each unit. It also has stored on its memory the number of people who have collected PVCs from that unit. So 100 people might have collected their PVCs in unit 001, and on the day only 80 would have come and be accredited and voted. So you cannot go and present a full 100 votes at the collection center, because the BVAS would have recorded the number of people accredited and the number that actually voted. So the era of ballot snatching and result alterations is gone. Because the results will be electronically transmitted from the polling unit to the INEC result viewing portal, where every member of the public will have access to it and be able to see live as it happens. Each result from each polling unit will be displayed on the portal, and therefore you, the coalition officer, will have to ensure that the result you are collating, the physical result that will be brought to you, will match the result that has been transmitted, which every member of the public would have had access to. So you have no reason to not be able to ensure that you comply with the results sent by beavers. INEC has also been granted the power that where there are concerns and where electoral officers have been forced to give results under duress, INEC has a right to review that result within 7 days and announce the appropriate result.
The Kogi State Governor, represented by the Deputy Governor Edward Onoja, commended the INEC confidence and introduction of new technology to stop the era of ballot snatching, saying the book has also come to complement INEC effort to enlighten the people about how the new technology works and why people's vote is the only way to select and elect who leads in the country.
So in less than 75 days, we will be at the polls according to INEC's timetable. So far, so good. And we are there to make choices of those who will be saddled with the affairs of Nigeria and the 36 federating states and the FCT for another period of 4 years. If you ask me, that should be the greatest assignment for every progressive, loving, passionate citizen of Nigeria. Estimatedly, over 10 million new entrants into the INEC register by virtue of the 13 months continuous voters registration exercise that the INEC diligently, dedicatedly did from June 2021 to part of August 2022 by extension. So over 10 million registered voters were added to the about 84 or plus million that used to be there before. But on election day, all the presidential candidates will be in their polling unit, one location. And to be a leader, you should be able to understand the recent electoral laws, INEC guidelines, information of how elections work now. Because it is not like it was in 2019 any longer. Knowledge is power. By the virtue of the passage of the electoral law in February, that by virtue of what I read in this book, some of the tips, information are embedded in this book. This may happen to be the only book available for voters and citizens of Nigeria to read before election day.
He gave the assurance that as an APC government, Nigeria can only get the best and the nation will be better. The book author, Alexandra Onoja, told journalists why he has decided to write the book and his expectations.
We are looking at conscientizing our leaders to come to the realization that election is not about take it all. It's a win-win relationship. It's a social contract between the governed and those who govern. People have given you their power, their mandate. It's like a trust given to you. You are not supposed to take advantage of it, because after every 4 years, you must come back to get re-examined to see whether you are qualified to move to the next stage. It's a complete book that if you go through it, either as a politician or as an electorate or as a regulatory body like INEC, you will have something to pick, even in the academia. And I believe that this book, like His Excellency said, is the #1 book at this material time after the enactment of the Electoral Law 2022, the Act, that is current and is timely for our election come 2023. It is the electorate that determines who becomes, and the voting power is in the PVC, and that's where the power lies. And until you make people realize that they have power, they would not utilize that opportunity. In Hausa, they say, Reshin seni shiyasa kazata kwana kendebi. Tamutu de safe. Ignorance will make a hen sit on guinea corn, not knowing that it's food to feed. But today, with this book, the unveiling of this book, the electorate now know that they have the power to decide who governs them.
The book, Election Your Power, Take It to the Polls, has 149 pages, divided into 3 parts with 19 chapters. The book dealt with the Nigerian of our dream, the giant in us, and further exposed people to ignorance of electoral rules, among others. Alexander also exposes and expands on the electoral procedure and the impact it has on the grassroots, with the campaign and its techniques that will make Nigerian democratic system more refined to become the government of the people and for the people. Report filed by Akowe Elijah. I am Matthias Ayodeji Peter, reporting for MLC TV.